particular person. So otherwise, it's an unethical kind of social aspect that may be degrading the particular gender. So, but women stimulating sex in advertising, advertisements of suitcase, shaving foam, creams, tights, pen, shoes, etc., does not make any sense to many. So that kind of using. So the what they will just as well we discussed yesterday also. So whatever they just go on. Just portraying and just focusing and using the women for this kind of products for tights and pens shows they add that, I mean, this will be adding to the glamour to the their advertisement, so that can the presentation will be very rich. So that's the main reason that there are these advertising agencies advertising people that giving after using the women in a particular products. So improper language. So what kind of improper language? So one of the major complaints against advertising is that the advertising copy is too breezy and too casual. That is improper. It is believed that the advertisements have destroyed the dignity of the language. So here, so what they say, so from advertising point of view, so that destroying the dignity of the language means they need to just go through the common language. To just they want to just enter into the conversation kind of style, so that can they can able to impress the target audience through using the local colloquial language and the kind of a dialects kind of language that is more kind of attractive. They feel that the audience or target audience feel that it is from them they are just talking about, they are conversing about them only. So that way they use the particular language that maybe sometimes it may be a kind of destroying kind of, they feel that the critics say that they're destroying the language kind of. So but the from advertising point of view, so what they will say that it will be just common man language that we're using so as to just reach the target audience. So excessive. So in today's world, an average, we are exposed to hundreds of commercial messages every day. So the advertising clutter is even worrying the advertising professional about the negative impact of the proliferation of the advertisements. The kind of a presentation, the kind of a message dissemination is going on. So that kind of a maybe so it will certain kind of we'll discuss in further slides the what kind of advantage, what kind of disadvantage of the advertising. So the kind of impact is the proliferation of advertising. So proliferation, new ads, new presentation, new thoughts, new ideas, new concepts they are developing. So in order to reach, in order to attract, in order to just catch hold, in order to get the eyeballs to just catch and get the message could be divided, so that can jingles, the slogans, the headlines that able to get more target audience. That is the main intention of these ads. So just give me 1 minute. Somewhere. Yes, right. So, media and maintaining the ethics. So, certain kind of instructions also given to the media as well. So, while they are just describing, while they are disseminating this, they are passing through their channels, their media. So, that kind of what kind of a ethics, what kind of a directions given to the journalists as well as All India Editors Conference has set out certain ethical standards to be maintained by the editors and journalists, some of them here. So some of the suggestions, some of the standards, ethical standards that need to be maintained, that that are just put forward to just see whether the particular ad, particular information that is carried through media should be had certain kind of a should need to follow certain kind of a guidelines. So in the discharge of their duties, journalists should attach due value to the fundamental and human and social rights, and shall hold good faith and fair play in news reports and comments as essential professional obligations. So here, what he had mentioned is the professional standards. So see that what kind of a facts, what kind of a information that we are passing. So whether it's authentic, whether kind of it's has a truth, that kind of a exaggeration claims in the particular information, particular ad message that is passing through the media. Next, journalists should observe special restraint in reports and comments dealing with the tensions likely to leading to disorder, so civil disorder. So the kind of so they are also just given. So whenever the kind of information they need to see whether it will be dividing the society, whether it will be creating any hatred kind of a among certain communities. So there will be it may lead to just a kind of a civil disorder. So that is a main thing that we need to that this journalist has to keep in mind while you are just disseminating, just commenting on a particular kind of thing or reporting any item on a particular issue. So journalists should endeavor to ensure that the information disseminated is factually accurate. No fact shall be distorted or the essential facts deliberately omitted. So no information to be false shall be punished. So these are the things. So any information should not be distorted or deliberately should not be omitted. So it should not be removed. So that kind of a intention, that kind of a thing. So they need to just keep in mind, just have to follow certain guidelines. Since I mean they are just in a particular sacred profession, so that can they need to give whatever the information is there. So as it is and truth in the information instead of just omitting that with deliberately omitting certain kind of information. So no information known to be false. So whatever information they will pass on should not be find any kind of false in this particular information. The responsibility shall assume for all information and comments published. If the responsibility is disclaimed, this will be explicitly stated. So whatever the responsibility, they need to just keep so exclamation as well as in the we will see so many disclaimer kind of thing. So in this thing, so there need to be just form as well as just okay, this journalist has to give all information accurately. So next, so why I mean advertising is criticized for ethical issues or ethical concerns. So first thing we will do advocacy. So advocacy is advertising objective is not only to inform but also to be persuasive in nature. However, critics often say that the advertisement should be objective, informative, and neutral. So here, so what they critics say why it was why advertising is criticized because of the thing that will always keep into just persuasive. They try to convince, try to just motivate, try to inspire, try to instigate a kind of a desire and kind of want for the particular product. So that kind of a persuasive they are using. So instead of many objectives, so whatever the information they're supposed to give, they has to be more objective and just give the information. So in neutral manner, instead of just convincing, instead of instigating, instead of inspirating or motivating kind of thing, they need to be give information as it is and just it be neutral. So that is kind of thing that will be first thing it will criticize. And accuracy. So accuracy. So advertised products do not always fulfill their advertised clauses. The subjective claims are inaccurate, deceptive, misleading is a matter of concern for critics. Can a cream make a one fair? Does a drinking a cold drink make anything possible? These claims are mere matter of perception. Critics claim the people often fall prey to these kind of a claims. So this kind of a claims, so we can see them creams or maybe fairness creams or maybe kind of particular kind of a creams or cool drinks. So uh, डर के आगे जीत है. So the kind of things, whether they are drinking a particular cool drink that will just give you a courage, give you kind of a motivation, kind of a instigation. So that way, so the cool drinks or maybe the cream, so whether it will be making a such a kind of a claims, so that is not possible, that not able to just give the way is presented. So it is yes, yes, sorry. So that kind of claims. So they critics feel that when the advertisement is just giving exaggerated claims. So instead of giving the accurate and just facts related to the particular product. So next, acquisitiveness. I mean, critics often accuse advertising of creating, fostering a materialism. So materialism kind of thing. So suppose you doesn't require, I mean, you do not require a particular product. So instead of, I mean, after certain kind of, instigation, that's kind of a persuasive. So you're supposed to just wishes to purchase a particular products, but in actually you doesn't require particular products in a particular time. but the kind of thing it will just making that materialistic kind of a materialism, so that instead of your need, so suppose your need is something, so your instead of just going through the just purchasing your needs to fulfill your needs, so you are also purchasing the other products that is not our your desire as well as your particular day-to-day needs. So that way that will just creating as a creating for just instigating effort towards a materialism kind of aspects. Next, standard advertising agencies. So, advertising agencies plan, prepare advertisements in the medium. So, while preparing the advertisements, the agencies apply certain standards of practice approved by the Advertising Agencies Association of India. So, there is particular the association is the Advertising Agencies Association of India. So, whatever the kind of a guidelines, what kind from time to time they will evolve certain kind of a guidelines they will follow. They will just instruct the advertising agencies to what kind of a laws, what kind of a new amendments, what kind of a new aspects that they need to just keep in mind while developing, while planning, while chalking out any kind of advertisement, when thinking about any concept or an idea. So they just put forward and said, instruct the advertising agencies, this association. So that can they can need to just follow all the suggestions and guidelines given by the advertising agencies of Association of India. So every member of the association is expected to carry on his profession and business in such a manner that uphold the dignity and interest of the association. So that way, so all so that whatever the guidelines manner that will follow professional and a business in such a manner that able to uphold the dignity and interest of the association. So general rules of the rules of conduct in advertising. So advertising shall be so designed as to conform to the laws of the country and shall not offend against any morality, decency, religious susceptibilities of the people. So this is the kind of a general rules and conduct of conduct in advertising. Some I mean just maintain. So no advertisement shall be permitted, yeah, has been derides any race, caste, color, creed, and nationality. So is against any kind of directive principles or any other provisions of the Constitution of India extend to incite people to crime, cause disorder or violence or breach of law or glorify violence or obscenity in any way. Or next, it presents criminality as a desirable. So adversely affect friendly relations with foreign states, exploit the national emblem or any part of the constitution or the person or personality of a nation leader or a state dignitary. So relate to or promote cigarettes and tobacco products and liquor, wines and other intoxicants. These are the general guidelines, general rules that the advertising agency has to follow in order to just, so these are the aspects. So any deride any kind of a race. So any we just not any create any kind of discrimination kind of thing using the race and caste, color and creed and nationality of the any particular thing. So and which the advertisements that should not be infringement of any kind of, it should not be against the direct principles of state policy or maybe another provisions of the constitution as well as, so any constitution of the, so should not use our emblems as well as national emblems or state emblems. So that should not be used for the purpose for commercial purposes. So it will be uh, get kind of any punishment. So it will use they need to they will be land in a kind of in a trouble. So that way, so they should not use any kind of a emblems, any kind of any part of the institution or personality or national leader for the promotion of their product, so our dignity. So that way, so one more thing is, as well as criminality should not be the presents a criminality as desirable. So criminal activities, criminal events should not be focused as a desirable kind of things, and also adversely affecting the friendly relations with the foreign states, that we have relationship and a good relationship with the foreign nationals, foreign countries, maybe the neighboring countries. So instead of, that way, the kind of message, the kind of information that will just pass on, that will disseminate, so that should not be, spoil our neighborly countries as well as, other foreign nationals, so that can not be kind of create any kind of trouble. So if you just use that kind of, that should not affect. So whatever the message, that should not affect any kind of a relationship with the foreign states. So as we know, so the other ads relating to the cigarettes, tobacco products, liquor, wines. So this kind of ads promoting the cigarettes as well as wines as well as tobacco products are banned. So that should not be promoted, should not be used to just glorify and just give information about the particular tobacco and as well as the liquor and wines kind of thing. Yes, another, general rules for conduct of advertising is, no advertisement message shall be in any way presented as a news. So, yeah, advertising should be in an advertising way only. So, this should be identified by the who has been sponsoring the particular ad. That should be identified by the sponsor. So, any message, any advertisement shall not be presented as a news item. So nowadays there will be kind of allegations and kind of information that paid news as we know. So in election this is election season, and most of the information, so most of our information about the leaders parties, so that will be that are just presented in a news item kind of thing. So certain kind of information, so the advertisements, the kind of advertisements they will be issue in 2009. So the paid news information was the Press Council of India notified, and they will just appointed a separate committee to look into the paid news information. So that way, so under the, Srinivas Reddy, the eminent journalist, so when the committee was established and they submitted a report in 2012. So that way the paid news kind of thing, so that will press council just keep an vigil. And so anybody just raise, anybody can just put a complaint. So then press council of India look into the matter and just verify and ask the particular newspaper why particular news item is carried as a advertisement carried as a news item. So that kind of a way. So any information, any advertisement should not be presented as a news. So no advertisement shall be permitted the objects whereof are wholly or mainly of a religious political nature. Advertisement should not be directed towards any religious or political end, have any relation to any industrial dispute. So whatever the advertisement, so that we plan the concept, the theme that we use to just promote our product, promote our concept, should not be create any kind of a disturbances, any kind of a hatred among any kind of a community, or maybe any kind of a create any kind of a industrial dispute as well. So next, advertisements for services concerned with the following shall not be accepted. So money lenders, cheat funds, saving schemes, lotteries uh, other than those conducted by central and state government or organizations, nationalized or recognized banks and public sector undertakings, the matrimonial agencies, unlicensed employment services, fortune tellers of soothsayers, etc., and those with the claims of hypnotism and foreign goods and foreign banks and betting tips, guidebooks are relating to the horse racing, other games of chance. These are the kind of things that the advertisements, these kind of advertisements should not be promoted. So just kind of, it may be about the lotteries, it may be kind of a money laundering, any kind of a money circulation schemes, or kind of a fortune tellers, or maybe kind of a matrimonial agencies. So see, there are certain kind of agencies, they will just follow certain kind of guidelines. They will be allowed. But the things, though, if you just go on telling the creating the glorifying, or maybe giving you the magical, or maybe remedies, or maybe solutions for the, any kind of problem. So that kind of advertisement should not be allowed, should not be possible, and should not be disseminated. The kind of information on hot studying kind of thing, and games of chances, and kind of betting kind of tips should not be promoted through using the advertising channel. Next, the items advertised shall not suffer any defect or deficiency as mentioned in the Consumer Protection Act 1986 and Consumer Protection Act 2019. So these are the general rules, the Consumer Protection Act 1986, what will say. So whatever information that will provide advertisers should not kind of any kind of a deficiency, any kind of a defect. If it does have defects and deficiency in a particular product, they will they can reach to the consumer court. They can, where consumer court will solve the problem and provide appropriate judgment and just give in favor of the consumer. So protection. So this is a Consumer Protection Act as well as 2019. So this is an act that will just protect the consumer interest. So no advertisement shall contain the words guarantee or guaranteed, etc., unless the full terms of guarantee are available for inspection. So that is the kind of, suppose you just put a a guarantee in an ad, guarantee as a word in information disseminating to the person. So it will should have certain kind of a terms that is that are available for inspection as well as, so should not, when while you are using the guarantee word, so that should be provided for inspection as well as how, what kind of a guarantee you are giving, on what terms and what criteria, that kind of a guarantee you are just giving, so that should be available for the inspection as well as. Advertisement shall not contain disparaging and derogatory references to another product or services. Testimonials must genuine, used in a manner not to mislead the listeners. So advertisers or advertising agencies must be prepared to produce evidence in support of their claims. So whatever the claims, whatever the inform references they're giving, they're providing, that should be have kind of a support or whatever the claims they will give, what when the information that disseminate. So they need to just prepare to produce evidence in support of their claims. So whatever their claims, they need to just show proofs. So how it will be solved, how, what kind of a claim you are making. So that should be proved, that should be given. So my voice is clear. So it's not even disturbing, Nana.
No, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Right. Thank you.
It is clear, sir.
Right. Thank you. Yes, moving forward. So these are the main guidelines. These are the general rules of conduct in advertising that we all advertising agencies, advertising people has supposed to follow certain kind of a rules or certain kind of a conduct in disseminating their information in the manner of advertising. So in the form of advertising. So next we go ahead with the advertising standard council of India. This is a one kind of a standard council of India, a body that brings together advertisers, agencies, and the media, has grown up a detailed and elaborate code. It has also established a consumer complaint cell to examine the complaint receipts. So that will just go through them. And if you just even go and just check this available on a website as well as Advertising Standard Council of India. So where you can lodge a complaint as well as about by any particular product, maybe related to any kind of a claim they're making, any kind of a derogatory or maybe decency that maybe or maybe infringing any kind of a laws that we feel. So you can lodge a complaint in this website. There will be separate page in this Standard Council of India where you can lodge a complaint. So they will just they will receive and they will send the notice to the particular the ad, those who are made the ad and maybe company, so that they can able to just give a reason why they are just put forward this such a kind of a claim, such kind of a information. So they need to give the reason. So for making such kind of a claims. So this is where we can just lodge a complaint. We can just put just forward a message, and maybe there will be toll free number will be available on this particular website. You can also call and just you can also lodge your complaint as well as. So this is all together. So in this particular thing, so a body that brings together all advertisers, advertising agencies, and the media. So the all information they will just combine. It will having the all data relating to the ad agencies, advertisers, and the media. So what the chapters it will say. So there is specifically there evolve this kind of a chapters. So each chapter it will say, it will guidelines that will just focus, that will give you certain kind of instructions. So chapter one say to ensure truthfulness and honesty of representation and claims made by the advertisements, and to safeguard against misleading advertisements. So in the chapter one, the description is given. So what kind of a truthfulness, what kind of an honesty representation, what kind of a claims they are supposed to, the advertisement is supposed to give. So, and safeguard any kind of a misleading advertisements, maybe certain kind of a full claims are, will not be given. Let's see, certain kind of a off information. So, provided, so some maybe misleading, some maybe derogatory. So, what kind of that kind of a information? So, what kind of information should not be given, so that in the particular chapter they will show, they will just explain. So, what kind of information that should need to be provided. Next, chapter 2. So what will in chapter 2 describes, explains to ensure that advertisements are not offensive to generally accepted standard of public decency. Advertisements shall contain nothing indecent, vulgar, repulsive to cause cause grave or widespread offense. So chapter 2 describe about these aspects. So about the public decency, what is public decency means? So what kind of an indecent, how, what is that indecent act, or what kind of a indecency that will reveal in a particular act? So maybe vulgar and repulsive to cause a grave or widespread offense. So what kind of a claims, what kind of a offensive claims that will able to just infringe or maybe able to give repulsive to grave and widespread offenses. So this kind of this, I mean, second chapter will describe about the public decency. So what kind of a public decency is, how it will be, what kind of a indecent acts, what are the events that we should not be focused. It will describe and explain in the chapter 2. Next, chapter 3 describe about to explain about the to safeguard against the indiscriminate use of the advertisement for promotion of products hazardous to society, individual to such a degree which is unacceptable to society at large. Certain kind of products, certain kind of advertising promoting the products, hazardous products kind of thing. So indiscriminate use of advertising. So indiscriminate use of hazardous products that will promoting particular uh, that may be cause that may be cause to the individual, it may be affect to the individual as well as society. So such a degree which, I mean, unacceptable to the society, as well as maybe bomb making or maybe kind of make certain way. So for a particular product that may able to just create, that may have certain kind of a effect on society as well as an individual. So crime, disorder, violence, intolerance, and divide any race, caste, color, creed, and nationality adversely affect friendly relation with the foreign states. So in the chapter 3, so these are the things that will given that are this mention, the crime as well as the hazardous kind of uh, products, or maybe violence kind of things, or maybe dividing the any race or the caste on the basis of the caste and color. So creed. So or maybe it should not be affect any kind of friendly relations with the foreign state as well. Under chapter 4, so what will is explain in the chapter 4, truthful comparison. So what kind of a truthful comparison should be given? So what are the exemptions? What are the precautions while just presenting the comparisons that should be maintained? So the advertisement shall not make any unjustifiable use of a name or initials of any other firm, company, institution, not take symbol of another firm or its products. So it is clearly mentioned we should not take the name of or initials of the other company, other firms or institutions, or not take symbols of any other products or maybe firm. So that will be while giving the comparison, you can just put forward the particular product and it's the attributes or maybe kind of, I mean, benefits that will while comparing the particular product. So we need should not. So in this chapter 4 in this, I mean, Advertising Standard Council of India explains, so unjustified use should be banned. So we should not take the firm's name, company, or institution as symbols of the other company or products. Next, what are the case studies? So, a few case studies we'll discuss here. So, the Advertising Standard Council of India has upheld a complaint against several consumer goods companies, including the Hindustan Unilever, Coca-Cola India, and Gillette India, for ads that is agreed were in contravention of a ASA code for self-regulation. So, these are the companies. So, where, I mean, certain kind of a complaint was large, and they are just taken back and just they modified their ads. So Gillette had to withdraw a television advertisement that said a Gillette Vector Plus blade lasts for 3 weeks. So such kind of, I mean, claims, such kind of exaggerated claims, so that they are just created. So that kind of claims after, I mean, complaint. So this particular Gillette company has withdrawn its television ads that claiming that, I mean, to last for its blades, Vector Plus blade lasts for 3 weeks. So that kind of the ad they will, after raising a complaint against this company, they will just withdrawn the ads. The next, sorry, Hindustan
Mm.
Unilever had to withdraw an advertisement of its Lux brand of soap. So advertisement was in a cartoon format, but it contained a portrayal audio were considered as being for adults. The complaint alleged that the ad bombarded images of sexual nature and young impressionable minds of the children. So that way that they use the Lux band, use the particular soap, so in a manner that may be objectionable. So that way that also withdrawn. Next, Coca-Cola, which showed a Bollywood actor driving a car in a rash and negligent manner to secure his thumbs up bottle. to had to modify that. So that kind of a ad that this in order to just get the thumbs up bottle, just shown the actor just moving, driving a car in a rash and negligent manner. So that way, just the particular ad was modified later after complaining a particular issue. Next complaint where the advisor is lodge a complaint. So advise the Ministry of Ayush there, COVID and this is a few things. Ministry of Ayush order on 19th April 22. So Maharashtra COVID regulations, IRDA master circulations and insurance ads. So Ministry of Defense advisory on usage of army uniforms in ads. So these are the advisories. So you can check on the website. These are the information related to the usage of the ministry uniforms of the army, IRDA for insurance ads, the Maharashtra COVID regulations, and the Ministry of Ayush order on COVID-19. So it is issued on April 2020. And Ministry of Information Broadcasting and Advisory and Advertising and Online Gaming. So it's given on the December 4th. So the COVID Act in Ministry of Ayush has given April 2021. So these are the complaint that we can just get the ads. So these are the things. So see the Ministry of from Time Gaming Act 2020, Ayush Act, COVID, Maharashtra regulations, IRDA, insurance ads. So army. So what kind of a usage of the army uniforms? So Ayush new drugs and cosmetic 11th amendment rules as well as 2019 food safety standards, advertising claims and regulations 2018, and Ministry of Ayush advisory to Ayush drugs and manufacturers. So these are the information so that are provided on this website. So also there's a Ministry of Information issues advisory to ensure strict compliance of the provisions of the DMR Act 1954. So D and C Act 95 telecasting the ad and TV channels. So MIB advisory to channels indulging in telecasting the ad which are masqueraded as a news item. So the kind of ads presented in a news item manner. So issues advisor and is an improper use of the emblems and names. So emblems, so national emblems that should not be used. The Ministry of Ayush Advisory Ayurvedic Product Manufacturer Association warning issued by Central Council of Medicine to all state medical councils. So UGC cautions students on misleading advertisements. So announcement by PIB regarding the consumer affairs tie-up with the ASCI, so Advertising Standard Council of India. So Department of Transport and UP's expectations from advertising. So guidelines on display of advertisement on public service vehicles. So there are also some public service vehicles also what kind of ads should be allowed. So next, MIB advisory to TV channels violating the codes. So they will continuously give advisory and instructions and will as ask them to show cause notice as well as also give show cause notice as well to the MIB. Always keep an vigil and continuously check. So what kind of code whether they are just infringing the violation of the particular code. So that way they send them a notice to the particular channel. So these are the advisories. These are the information that is provided. That is the information and warning as well as the use of the improper emblems and what kind of a channel, what kind of products, Ayurvedic products that should be association is mentioning. So what kind of a claim should not be mentioned, should not be provided in the dissemination of the information and through in a particular form of advertising should be go through this kind of a guidelines and instructions before there's making any kind of a claims about their product. So next, we're just moving on to next unit. So research and evaluation in advertising. So how it will be research and how the particular product, particular information provided in the form of advertising. So how it will be research, how it will be evaluated, what kind of impact, what kind of influence it will have on a particular target audience, how it will be able to reach the target audience and just able to just impress and able to attract the particular target group. So how they will be reached, how they will be researched. These are the aspects that we go and just discuss. The advertisers pay money for the advertising agencies for their services and sprays broad. They want these services to have a higher reach and impact on the target audience. So who are just advertisers, so who are just some sponsors or companies who are just want to ask the advertising agencies to develop the theme, develop the concept, develop the idea, so as to reach higher. It will have the higher reach as well as it will have higher reach as well as certain kind of impact on the target audience. So that can after seeing the after just hearing or listening or viewing the act, information. So some just sorry, hearing the the kind of information provided and kind of that will have certain kind of impact and influence on the particular target audience, so that can they can make a take a decision to purchase a particular product. So that way, so whatever the theme, whatever the strategy, whatever the concept they develop, so they have certain kind of a reach, that kind of a that can be measurable, how it will have certain kind of impact on the audience as well. The messages and the media are to fit audience profile. Advertisements are concerned about their money and what they pay. So the message, the media, the selection of a media, the selection of a appropriate media and appropriate message. So that will have certain kind of a that able to fit into the audience profile. So whom we are targeting, what kind of a profile, I mean, our audience, as target audience are there. So how the particular message developed for the relating, just focusing on the particular segment. So advertisers are concerned about their, so whatever they're just paying the money, so they keep in mind. So they ask the, I mean, advertisers, so what, how it will be developed, how it will be reached, how it will have certain kind of an impact. Evaluating advertisement effectiveness is a sure way to track and estimate the return on investment. So whatever they're investing on advertisement, that should be measured, that should have certain kind of effect, so that can be able to create a business, that can be able to create sales, instant sales, or maybe the register a brand name, or register a, or maybe enhance the company name or company brand name. So that kind of a aspect that look into that, they will just keep just concentrate in order to increase their image or maybe sales. That is the main intention, that is the main motto of the particular person who are, I mean, the particular product company. That way they will able to ask the advertisers to develop particular message and for develop a concept. Why measure? Why measure by effectiveness? Why is it necessary to measure? So whether it is a kind of a effectiveness, and what are the strategies, what are the methods that are available to measure effectiveness of the particular ad, that will be, so what kind of methods. So advertising effectiveness, according to Levy in 1986, it is of course what the consumer actually interprets, not necessarily the intended message, that is correlate of any attitude or behavior change which may occur as a result of the advertisement. So that will say, so after exposing to the particular ad, after exposing to the message, that any kind of a behavioral change, any kind of a attitude change, that will be able to, that particular ad, a particular information that pass on in the form of advertisements, that will have kind of any kind of a impact, kind of movement, or maybe kind of a behavior change. So that can the behavior change that can able to make any kind of a decisions, change, or to have kind of a recall ability. So one slogan, one jingle, when given, like, I mean, Rasna is, I love you, Rasna is, mean, boost is secret of my energy. I'm a complan gun kind of thing. The slogans is continuously certain kind of impact on the target audience, that will be continuously recall and able to register in people's mind. That is the main motive of any advertisement. So that change, the particular message is able to bring about any kind of a change using the particular message or jingles or slogans. That is the main intention of the advertise, that will be measured. So that is that will be called as a effectiveness, that will have certain kind of impact. Why measure advertising effectiveness? The first aspect of measuring advertisement effectiveness is the question of cognitive distortion, which entails any communication process. Second aspect of advertising effectiveness is related to measuring its influence on the choice process of consumers. Next, third distinct aspect of the advertising effectiveness is the question of the role of advertising in creating consumer consumption behavior of consumers. So that way, three aspects. This is the three aspects. If you question about the cognitive distortion, how it will able to communication process, how it will able to change, able to bring a change. And the second aspect, how it will just related to the measuring its influence on the choice process of consumers. So whether they will, after exposing to the message, after exposing the particular ad in print or electronic media, they will able to any kind of a behavior change, as well as the effectiveness of question of the advertising increasing the consumption. So after viewing, after seeing the, so continuously repeatedly purchasing the particular product continuously, or the consumption level increased. So consumption level as whether they're frequently just purchasing the particular product frequently, that kind of a measurement will be done. So they will measure the advertising effectiveness through these three aspects, three questions they will put forward to just measure the things. So the next effective measurements, the advertising effectiveness can be studied from different manifestations of these actors, consumers or audience of the advertisements, and potential purchasers of the product and services. Many models of consumers' behavior have been developed to measure the advertising agency effectiveness. So Beverly 97 is still, I mean, different kind of aspects, different kind of a behavioral change that will be just able to from time to time is changes how to measure, how to be able to reach, and the effectiveness can be measured through using different methods, strategies. So the advertising in a traditional sense can influence the consumer behavior. In new media, advertising on the internet, the advertisement can be influenced by the consumer behavior as well as manifest the effectiveness. For example, click-through a rate of banner advertising on the web can be used to measure this effectiveness. Suppose you just browsing while you are browsing on internet, so you will just find any kind of attractive pop-up or any kind of a banner. So it will be impressing, or maybe catchy headline. It maybe have a kind of a catchy image, so that will attract. So if you just click on the image, it will see that how effective your ad is. So that way the particular ad is impressed with the particular ad able to attracting you. So that way that they will able to measure the effectiveness of the particular ad. The product service represent the motivation of the advertising, and then advertising is often used to try to increase the sales of a product or the use of the service, or to improve the firm's corporate image, to persuade people that the company is benevolent and trustworthy, or to change people's behavior, such as anti-smoking, such the advertisement effectiveness can be also measured through the achievement of the motivation, such as the profit and the brand value. So that way, so whatever the product, whatever services, that motivation, so what kind of a motivation? So after suppose, so after seeing the ad, so certain kind of ads, maybe it will be about the cervical cancer, or maybe it will be quitting the smoking. So or maybe about the tobacco. So the kind of ad. So after seeing the ad, the people are able to quit, or maybe people able to just get rid of them, I mean, just give up their smoking habits. So that kind of a trustworthiness, or maybe so it will be in the service ad, that the particular company is trying to pursue and feel that, I mean, it will be a trustworthy one. It's been more kindness towards the society. So it will value the society. It will have the responsibility towards the society. That way, through the particular ad, it can be certain way. It will be motivating through other ad. Suppose one person is after seeing and viewing the ad, is give up the smoking habits. That will be one kind of effectiveness that you can able to measure. So next is the medium is the carrier of the advertising message. The principal media may be classified as newspapers, magazines, radio, TV, and direct mail, internet, outdoor, and so on. So medium. So which medium so is effective? So which medium is effectively reach the maximum target audience? Which time slot? It may be on the television time slot. It may be on the particular magazine, or maybe newspaper. So target audience, whether it be able to reaching effectively reaching the target audience that we are intended to deliver, intended to just give the particular message, we are willing to target a particular segment. The media, the selection of media is very crucial, and where it will be able to release, it will be able to reach, has the maximum reach to the target audience, so that can it will be medium will be measured. Next, environmental includes the other factors around the medium that can affect the advertising. The environment can influence the audience attention and involvement level. For example, not only people in front of a TV are watching, so also TV advertising, as well as how that environment is surrounding, that will also affecting the advertising. So that also that can be measured. Next, these are the measuring the effectiveness of the ad. So communication effects, that will how it will be done. So pre-test. So pre-test means in the pre-test, the copy testing, concept pre-testing, consumer techniques, and laboratory research drive. So that is, I mean, communication. What kind of a communication effect? So that we have the post test. So after releasing the ad, so how they will test. So recall test, recognition test, and the test and leadership test, and the brand persuasion test. So these are the communication effects that will be measured. So when we're release and we're supposed to releasing in a schedule to release particular ad, so there will be pre-test will be done and post-test will be done. So pre-test will be done for copy testing, concept testing, and the laboratory how it will be kind of have certain kind of a effect. And the post-test after releasing the ad, so they will be try to just test and recall test and recognition, the brand persuasion test that will be there. Next, one more this sale effect. What kind of a sale effects we have? So in the sale effects, so in pre-test, the inquiry test, the split run test, and sales test. So pre-test and inquiry test. So certain kind of after delivering, after disseminating an information, so whether inquiry is generated, or there will be any kind of desire, there can be any split run test. Split run test means the desire, the inquiry started, desire that they want to purchase kind of thing, and sales will able to generate. So the way the suppose one ad is disseminated, one ad is made, one concept is released. So before releasing, so they will just check with them in a particular group of consumers. So the particular ad able to igniting any kind of a interest that will be directed towards the inquiry. So, or maybe it will be able to just the message is carried on in the form of an ad. It will be sufficient to generate inquiry and will be able to boost up the able to ignite and instigate any kind of a insight, any kind of a desire. So that will be done in a pre-test in the sales effect kind of thing, measuring the post-test, the historical sales, the comparison with them after releasing the particular ad. So they will see, so the growth of the, I mean, the increase of the sales volume. So that will check with the previous year and the previous 6 months or previous months. So that can come to know the increase of the sales. The experimental test, this experimental test and post test, so whether with the particular ad is releasing, so that kind of have created any kind of a persuasion as well kind of a the ad release for experimental basis. So that will able to measure and that will able to have certain kind of a impact that will able to measured in a manner of volumes of the sales. So these are the aspect how it will be done. So communication effects can be done, and the pre-test and post-test will be can be done, and related to this copy testing will be done. So how it will be just communication effects and sales effects can be used. Next, so consumer audience advertisement, this potential purchase, they will deliver to the potential customers. So influence the consumer behavior, click, so banner of advertising kind of thing. So product service represent the motivation of the advertising. Medium is the carrier of the advertising message. Environment includes the factors kind of thing. So here, so while measuring one more aspect, one more kind of approach, while measuring the particular kind of a ad, whether it will have certain kind of influence and kind of a affect a certain kind of behavioral change, attitudinal change. So there is a dogma approach is there. So dogma approach, how it will be measured, how it will be calculated, how it will be tested, so it will be evaluated. So these are, can be done. So yes, dogma approach. So designing advertising goals for measured advertising results. This is the definition. This is the abbreviation of the thing. Designing advertising goals for measured advertising results. So abbreviated to dogma. So proposed by Russell H. Coley in 1961. So introduced a structured approach to overseeing the advertising activities has became a classic in advertising planning, implementation, evaluation. So this is become an example. So the way presentation, the kind of aspects in this one, so that will be helpful to measure, then able to evaluate the message, the planning, the implementation of the ad. That will can be easily that aspects that may that give the approach how to measure what kind of aspects, what kind of factors that will take into measurement. So that we can see the effectiveness of the ad. Stockmar model helps to define advertising objectives, measuring their effectiveness, positioning strategies, target market definition, proposes that goals to be stated in terms that are objective and quantitative. So these are the dogma approach that will help to measure the effectiveness and positioning strategies, and target market definition. So who are the target market here? So what geographical locations, what kind of target we are just going through. So whether it will be reached, it will have a kind of a maximum reach, we can reach, and the particular geography has certain kind of a population where we can reach our target audience, and what kind of a positioning strategies where how your product is positioning, on what basis, on one criteria we position, what are the uniqueness of the product, how the we are positioning, that will be measured using this dogma approach. So dogma approach. So ultimate objective advertising must to carry a consumer through four levels of understanding. Four levels of understanding. So what will advocates, what will suggest, what will propose. So four levels of understanding, from awareness to aware, from unawareness to awareness. The consumer must first be aware of a brand or company. First thing is, first element, first aspect is unawareness to awareness. The consumer first aware of the particular brand or a company, and next comprehension. He or she must have a comprehension of what the product is, its benefits. So comprehension means, so where they have what kind of a product is. So what is the product? What are the benefits? So if you use, so what kind of a solution, what kind of a problem it will be able to solve. So what kind of a benefits it will be giving you to the consumers, that will be presented. Next, conviction. He, she must arrive at the mental disposition or conviction to buy the brand. So it will be able to conviction, it will be able to convince, it will be have kind of a way, it will have to create certain kind of a instigate, or it will be kind of insight, it can be create desire to us to think about for purchase, think about to buy a particular brand. Next, action. So finally, he or she actually buy the particular product. So from awareness to unawareness to awareness. So next, comprehension, conviction, and finally action. So this is what about dogma approach suggests, proposes through on these aspects that will able to measure. So awareness, so how it will be measured. So in this stage, consumer becomes aware of the product. Awareness required two situations where buyer experiences high involvement, where buyer experiences low involvement. So awareness, how it will be, so whether it will be awareness, how it will be, how it will creating the awareness, how it will able generating the create generating awareness. So buyer experiences high involvement. So high involvement is the how the particular message able to create the kind of a high experiences means high uh, uh, awareness about the particular products, or maybe so the message is low involvement means message not able to reach the kind of a message that able to not catch you one, that not able to attract you, that not able to impress you one, and the appropriate attributes of the product or uniqueness are not presented. So this is the awareness level, the stages, the two stages that will be able to measured. Next, comprehension level. So what kind of comprehension that will be done? The consumer is aware of the product characteristics and uses. He is also familiar with the brand name and brand logo. Awareness on its own may not be sufficient to stimulate a purchase. Knowledge about the product or the organization is necessary. This can be achieved by providing specific information about key brand attributes. So just creating awareness is not sufficient. So that should not, stimulate for purchase. So that attribute should be added. Key brand attributes should be presented in the comprehension level that will be measurable. So next, conviction level. So in this stage refers to the emotional decisions of preferring a one brand to another brand. To do this, audience benefit beliefs about the product have to be molded, and this is often done through messages that demonstrate the product's superiority over a rival, or by taking about the rewards as a result of using the products. So that way, this stage, the emotional decisions of preferring a one brand, why we are preferring our brand, what kind of a emotional, what kind of a message that will be the message that demonstrating superiority, and maybe far more better than the available products. So far more than the attributes, far more than the more benefits that a particular product is giving. So when compared to the rival product, maybe comparing in the market. So that way, the conviction level, the emotional way, the decision message that will have some kind of impact that will be measured. Next, action. In this stage, the purchase made. So communication must carry the buyers to engage in purchase activity. Advertisement can be directive, guide the buyers into certain behavior outcomes, use of toll-free numbers, direct mail activities, replay cards, and coupons. So this is the way. So certain kind of after just giving ad, giving the information in the form of an ad. So that way, so it will be creating kind of actions towards action. So it will be after inciting, after just getting desire to just inquire about the particular product, or maybe getting talking on just I mean giving the responding to the free numbers that will be provided, so that they can able to get, or maybe uh, in the form of the cards, in the form of the coupons. So that way they will give the response way, the action, the kind of a message that simulated that able to have certain kind of a impact, so that can this I mean the audience, the target audience will able to respond to the message. This is the dogma approach that can be measured basis on the four aspects. So one is awareness, comprehension, conviction, and action. So these are the aspects that will be measured in the form of the will be measured the effectiveness of the ad. So then will be the right sample, the population we need to which population we are targeting, and these are what are the research methods we are just going to take up. So pre-testing methods. So pre-testing method. So in the pre-testing method, advertisement running is this likely for preparing the most effective ads, allowing an opportunity to detect and eliminate weaknesses and flaws. So creative strategies. So these are the stages where pre-testing will be done. So creative strategy stage, the layout stage, pre-production stage, and post-production stage. So the creative strategies. So when we are developing the theme and developing the concept, developing the idea, we that creative strategy, what kind of a message, what kind of image, what kind of a layout that we are using. So it will be vertical layout, it will be horizontal layout, it will be semicircular layout, it will be zigzag layout. So that kind of a layout, so whether it will be able to catch the eyeballs, it will be able to impress you, it will be able to get that, able to get attracted towards it, may be able to get the target audience attention. So these are the aspects that will be pre-tested before releasing the ad. The creative strategy, the impact of the creative strategy, the message, the pre-production stage. So maybe during the pre-production stage, also they will check the particular message information is in the process of developing. So whether it will have certain kind of a effect on the consumer targeted audience. So post-production kind of things where after releasing the ad, that we will discuss this in the pre-testing stage, in the creative stage. So concept testing will be done. So concept testing means the where a group focus group will be involved in this one, where I mean certain kind of a consumers will be just asked and maybe assemble at a particular room or particular place. So they will be distributed. They will be given the information about the ad. They will display the ad, and they will just play the particular commercial ad, television commercial ad, or maybe display the commercial print ad. So, and they will be exposed. They will be asked to just write your expressions, write your I mean responses to the product. So unfinished version of magazines and newspaper advertisements can be used to test the headlines or the other copy elements. Storyboards, animation, other rough material can be used to test commercials. The focus group interviews offer the benefit of individual as well as group reaction to the advertisements. That way, so exposure just selected consumers will be asked to assemble at a particular place. They will be given the ad. They will be shown the particular ad, and they will display it. So then they will register the responses, whether the particular message, particular theme, particular concept, whether it will be attractive, whether it will be impressing, it will be emotional, it will be inciting. That way, the headlines, the catchy headlines can be tested, the storyboard, the kind of animation, the methods, the delivering the message, the words usage. So everything will be displayed. That will be just asked the expose the focus group people to react to the message. So they will register, and they based on the responses, based on the reaction they will get. So then they all start whether it will be having kind of a, whether it will be create any kind of a impact or not. They will see, and they will be able to try to just modify, and there will be one-to-one interview. In an alternative to the focus group, the method is the one-to-one interview. Although the benefits of the group interaction is not possible with that this type of test, some researchers believe that individual consumers often will open up about their true feelings. 138 out about the advertisement. If the so certain kind of in front of the peer groups or other advantage of the one-to-one interviews. So one-to-one interviews kind of thing. Suppose focus group, the one alternative to the focus group, so they will select, they will send the particular person, and they will ask the consumers to just, they will show on the, take the reaction of the one-to-one consumers so that can, they will see particular ad concept is able to impress you, that will be catchy one, the elements, the focus elements that will projected. It's been able to inciting, able to instigating, able to inspiring or motivating towards purchase. These are the aspects will be taken from the one-to-one interviews. So here just will stop this presentation. So next class, so this last unit will be completed, and apart from this this unit, so next class I will just overall. So sorry, I'm almost ending. Next,
Last
so
class, sir.
get the thing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. శిరీష ఉన్నావా? నాది
ఉన్నా అంజద్. మా పిల్లి ల్యాప్టాప్ పైన దూకి ఏం చేస్తుందో కూడా తెలియట్లేదు.